Right guys, Achilles here. I'm super excited to bring this video to you guys today. In this video I'm going to show you exactly how to get lean in 12 weeks, from the diet to the training to why people understand all of this but still don't get lean. By the end of this video you're going to know exactly how to do it. You're going to have everything you need, and you're going to understand why people having this information but still don't execute it properly and get results like I have. So this is the transformation I made for myself, as you can see on the screen here. And for 3 years, I was spinning my wheels. I was training in the gym 6 times a week. I was dieting to the best of my ability, and yet I was still always fell short to the results that I knew I could get. And it was super annoying to do all this work and not have anything to show for it. We'll start with the basic 12-week plan foundations and structure with diet and training. So with diet, we're going to start with a 500 calorie deficit from our current maintenance calories. So you can find that with a TDEE calculator online. You can just insert your body metrics and it'll give you an estimate. And if you haven't been keeping up with your calories, this estimate is more than enough for us to work with and make adjustments along the week in order to lose body fat. So along with that, we want to make sure that we're eating at least 1 gram of protein per body weight. So whatever you weigh, if you weigh 180 pounds, eat 180 grams of protein. And in this diet, we want to mostly eat whole single food ingredients, and this allows us to stay full, gives us nutrients, because remember, we're going to be in a deficit, so our body's not going to get everything that it needs. So we want to make sure we're getting as much nutrients as possible and stay full as long as possible, so we don't suffer as much with this cut. And then macros don't really matter. I know people really emphasize that, but as long as we're hitting our protein goal and staying within our calorie limit, we should be all good. There's no need to get super geeky or techie about our diet. Let's just stick to the basics of eating 1 gram of protein whilst also staying within our calorie limit. The rest of the foods, mostly whole foods, can fill up the rest of the calories. And we want to weigh in 4 times a week to get our average weight, to ensure that we are losing fat. And I'll explain later in this video how to never hit fat loss plateaus. So weighing in 4 times a week is going to help us with that. And as for weight loss, we want to aim for 0.75% of our body weight lost every week. And this is like the sweet spot ratio of the perfect amount of fat, not losing too fast to the point where you risk muscle loss and you're just getting unnecessary diet fatigue, and which is why people crash and burn out of their diets sooner than they have to. Also, not losing slow to where we're going to have to diet for a very long time in order to lose the fat we want to lose. So just multiply your current weight by 0.75%, and this will give you around how much pounds you want to aim to lose. So if you weigh around 180, aim to lose 1.35 pounds a week, and this is just by multiplying the weight by 0.75%. And that's literally it for diet. No more than that. It's all you need. So as far as training is even more simple. So we just train in the gym 6 times a week following a basic push-pull leg split. We hit each muscle group for 4 sets every time we're in the gym. And the cool thing is, exercises are totally up to you. Whatever exercises you enjoy currently, just implement those. You can build your own program, but it's super simple. Just follow these basic guidelines of hitting 4 sets of muscle group every time you go. So for example, chest, if you hit chest on a Monday, just hit 2 sets of incline dumbbell press and 2 sets of flies, and that's literally it for chest. Then you do the same thing for shoulders and triceps, and yeah, it's super easy. But either way, along with this, we want to prioritize reps over weight in order to keep our muscle, because we're going to be in a deficit state, and your body actually gets more endurance in this state. You're not going to have so much strength because remember, your body's essentially eating itself. We're in a deficit, but it will do good at endurance, so we will be able to get more reps in opposed to weight. This way, it keeps our muscle, so we're not sacrificing gym progress that you made over the past years just for some fat loss, and you actually look good at the end of it. So with this, we want to be making mini PRs in the gym every single week, and it's kind of easier, like I said, when you're doing higher reps. So usually from the 10, 13 to 20, 25 rep range. That's the perfect range I found, because you still get a nice pump, you still stimulate the muscles, keeping our muscle, while also not going insane, still trying to push heavy numbers, and your body's simply not going to be able to do that during this time. So either way, we make mini PRs by adding 1 rep per week. So say you did 2 sets of chest for 15 and 13. So the next week you would just do 15 and 14. So it's so simple. We just add a little bit every week to still push our body, to make our body know that we do need the muscle. So just eat the fat and not the muscle. That's literally it. Next segment is going to be how to never hit a fat loss plateau. I know this is a big thing and so many people are still get scared when the weight doesn't go down, and still a misunderstood problem. Either way, going back to earlier, the reason why we track our weight and get our average at the end of every week of where our weight is headed, is it headed up, is it headed the same, is it headed down, is so we can adjust our calories accordingly to ensure that we are continuously losing body fat and we never hit a fat loss plateau. So I have a little diagram here that I'm going to share with you on how to do this. So for example, say in this example here, I weigh 175 pounds at the start of it. And like I said earlier, we start with a 500 calorie deficit. So say, for example, that 500 calorie deficit gets us down 1 pound in 1 week, as you can see here. So 1 week, we lose 1 pound. We're still in that 500 calorie deficit. We'll hit a point eventually where, say, week 2, we don't lose that 1 pound as planned anymore. And there is no more fat loss, so our fat loss is halted. And of course, we don't want that. We want to continuously lose fat throughout these 12 weeks. So what we do here, since we've hit a fat loss plateau, is we simply just increase the deficit. Woohoo, rocket science, right? So now that we're at 173.5 in this example here, we didn't lose the full pound as we lost the first week. So we only lost half a pound. So what we would do here, and this is the reason why I say we tracked our weight at the end of week 2. We saw that our average was around here. So obviously something's wrong. We're not losing at the rate that we want to lose at. So like I said, we would add a 250 calorie deficit. So this increases our deficit to a total of 750 calories. And by the end of the next week, as long we keep tracking our weight to make sure it's continuously going down with this new adjustment, and lo and behold, you'll definitely be down because the deficits increase. So as a byproduct of that, you're just going to lose more body fat. You're in a bigger deficit. This simple diagram literally explains how to never hit a fat loss plateau. It's simply just making adjustments based on your weight at the end of the week, which is why we track our weight, to ensure that we are continuously losing fat and it never stops, because we want to get fucking shredded, right? And you simply just run this equation up here, or this diagram up here, for 3.5 weeks and then deload to rest. So what is a deload? A deload is you eating at maintenance calories, or whatever you were at before you started the diet, in order to give your mind and body a rest. So it's usually a 4-day period of time. So in these 4 days, we eat at maintenance. And we also take 2 days of light training. So we'll just hit an upper-lower split. Very light training. We don't want to push ourselves. And then 2 days completely off. So this is just going to allow us during the cut to just relax a little bit, because the cut gets pretty intense sometimes, and when you push through that too much, that's how so many people fail their cut. So this is a planned deload in our training that gives us rest mentally and also physically, so we can continue pushing forward and actually get sustainable fat loss. So this is how it would look in a 4-week basis kind of thing. So week 1 we'll lose body fat, week 2 we'll lose body fat, week 3 we'll lose body fat, and I know I said 3.5 weeks. So like in the middle of week 4 is when we'll head on that deload. So it's usually we lose body fat up until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday we'll be on that deload, which I explained up here. Then it simply just comes down to rinse and repeating this for 12 weeks. So this basic structure here, which I've broken down into one section. You rinse and repeat this for 12 weeks, and by the end of those 12 weeks following, the continuous fat loss, never hitting fat loss plateaus, you're going to be down a significant amount of weight and you're going to look a lot better. So going into why most guys have this information and still fail. I gave you everything you need up to this point to lose body fat continuously and get shredded. But the thing is, so many guys execute this when they have so many things going on in life. Say there are big life events that are coming up, their trips or whatever's going on, and they try to execute this. But the thing is, how are you going to make sure you're doing all of this and you're doing it properly when you don't have the proper attention and focus to actually give to it? So kind of going into the second point here, people have too many focuses when starting things like this. Maybe they have a business they're working on, maybe they have a busy work schedule. But the thing is, this is going to take kind of a lot from you. You got to realize in these 12 weeks, you're going to have to prioritize and focus on fitness. So if it's not a season in life where you can do that, I'd say put it off until things become a little more stable and you actually have that attention and focus. And another thing is just people are simply unwilling to face the pain. It's painful to lose, man. You know, when you're in that diet, when you're deep in that diet, you feel like you just want to eat anything. You got to resist those temptations. You can't fall through with your emotions. And you got to realize this is a fixed 12-week plan that you have to stick to regardless of how you feel. And this requires you to be fully committed, which a lot of people aren't, which is why they don't complete their fat loss diet, even whilst having all the information they need. And they're simply just not willing to make trade-offs and sacrifices in order to get what they want. And if you made it to this far in this video and you have all this information, you literally have everything you need. So don't let any of these be the reason why you don't get fat loss, you don't get lean, because you have everything you need already. And it simply comes down to just not doing this. You have the easy part, but this is the tough part that's going to require you to actually implement and stay away from these things. Either way, you're in good hands. You have the information necessary. So now it's just up to you. You're going to have to sort out your life in order to implement all of this. But the thing is, that's already half the battle. So kind of going a little deeper into the structure I use personally in order to get lean, and how you can use this to make it so much more easier on yourself and ensure that you actually get lean this time, is this is what I found best to lose body fat and keep muscle. But like I showed earlier, that quick 1 to 2, 3, 4 week thing of lose body fat, lose body fat, lose body fat, and then, you know, week 3.5 we rest. So we literally just rinse and repeat this for 12 weeks. And this is how it looks. This is a visual representation of how your next 12 weeks is going to look. So you're losing body fat strong, losing body fat strong, losing body fat strong. We lose body fat for half the week of week 4. And then followed by deload for 4 days. And I found 4 days to be the perfect amount of time because it gives you just enough time to rest whilst also not, sacrificing your time of fat loss. So 4 days is perfect. I used to do 7, but I narrowed it down to 4 days. 4 days is just easier. And it works out perfectly because at Sunday you go into Monday, week 5, and you're straight back into fat loss. So it works well, plan-wise and everything. But literally we just follow this for 12 weeks and that's everything you need. You know how to continuously lose fat, never hitting a fat loss plateau. You know how to train in the gym now to keep muscle and not lose it whilst losing all this fat. You know how to eat. And now this structure just ties it all together because we just apply those things week by week, and it's literally straightforward. You can't get more simple than this. And that rest at the end of the weeks, I'm telling you guys, it means everything in this cut. Like, especially in the later weeks, as you're super diet fatigued, you're super tired, it's starting to weigh on you. You look forward to those breaks, and it gives you a little time to relax before you get straight back into fat loss, which will end eventually. But the cool thing is, once this is all complete, it can be maintained easily. So say you lose the weight you want, and you have a look that you want, that you're proud of, then you can simply just set fitness on maintenance. You can train 4 times a week, eating literally whatever you want to maintain, and just eat your calorie maintenance, and you can fill those foods with whatever you want. Just hit your protein goal. And that's the ideal fitness life, right? We want to look the way we want to look. We want to get lean, but we don't want to put our lives in the hands of fitness. Imagine training 6 times a week, every single day for the rest of your life, tracking literally everything you eat. That's not sustainable. That's not life. And we want to live life while looking good. So this structure and everything I've shared with you in this video is going to allow you to do that and maintain it with fitness literally at the back burner, not taking anything from you. So that sums it up, guys. I'm super grateful and excited that I got to share that with you guys today, because this is literally everything I do to get lean, which I'm doing currently even, and I have the video series that you can check out. But it's as simple as that, and if you follow the structures and plan and everything I've given to you in this video, you're going to get lean. That being said, guys, if you do want me to help you implement this in your own life, keep you accountable, make sure that anything that comes up is dealt with and we have no problems from week 1 to week 12 and we get our results guaranteed, book a call down below. We can see where you're at right now and where we can be in 12 weeks in order to get you lean and some real results in this world. Either way, guys, Achilles here. I'm super grateful for you guys being here. And like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.